All right, everybody. So this is something new that I'm starting. We'll meet each evening, 9:30 p.m. India time. And I had this dream where I was very clearly guided to do something like this. I'm calling this lightning in a bottle. That's what came with the dream. And the idea is just to be quiet and present. And let's see what comes up. So please join me if you like. The session's going to be about 21 minutes. Just enjoying being quiet here, witnessing thoughts come and go, sensory experiences come and go. Not feeling compelled to necessarily follow any thought. That's nice. Desire comes from discontent, isn't it? When you're contented, do you have desire? So some kind of discontent with something we are feeling, something we are experiencing, something we're thinking. Makes us want things to be different. Or even not want something to continue to be. And that's discontentment. So what's it like to really witness the operation of discontentment in our life, in this moment? Things we would rather not have to experience, or things we would rather like to experience that are not available here. Things that are just boring. All these are categories of discontentment. Not wanting, wanting, not really being interested. So the invitation today is to, can you be contented right in the middle of your discontentment? Let's try that for a change. Instead of immediately saying, no, no, I want it to be different. I want to be different. I want the experience to be different. I want life to be different. Teach me a way to make it different. Suppose we say, let's just stay with this. There was a great philosopher, saint of India, Nagarjuna, and he said something really interesting. He said, you talk about impermanence. What is impermanence? Things arising and passing, the coming and going of things. Change, flux, flow, impermanence. But for there to be impermanence, there has to be a thing. There has to be a thing that arises, a thing that passes, some kind of a thing. Is there really a thing? Is there really a thing? In careful analysis, no thing is found. Then how can there be impermanence? He's challenging one of the most basic facts of our life, the sense of existing, the sense of change, the sense of experiences coming and going. It's so hard to understand what he's saying. What do you mean? Of course, there are things. Yeah, there are things in our mind. We label them. That's a table, that's a chair, that's a house, that's a person. But in terms of experience, when we look at it really closely, is there a thing? And if there's no thing, then is there impermanence? Very often, for something like this, someone will say, I don't understand it. I would be more surprised if you said, you do understand it. We don't Make understanding the priority, understanding the goal. It's too slow. Concepts, ideas, understanding, somehow matching your view of the world, your idea of the world, fitting into it neatly. Too slow, too awkward for what we are talking about. Understanding is very far away from these things. So can you be content with your discontentment, if any? And then check if there's any desire left for anything. And for there to be change, there has to be something that changes. Can we find a thing that changes? We have to look really carefully. Is there a thing? Is there a looker? Is there even something called carefully? What is all this? What's beautiful about these kind of teachings is we're right in the middle of the mystery. Instead of living in the dry desert of our history, we are right in the middle of the mystery. Ultimately, every concept that you've relied on, every teaching you've relied on, every teacher you've relied on, every idea, every framework that you have relied on is going to become your new burden, your new cage, the new thing that strangles you, suffocates you. And this is true about every single concept, teaching, practice, bar none, every single one of them. So these are all stepping stones. These stones are not for carrying, they're for stepping over, moving on. Even the things I'm saying and pointing to, the very same things can become a barrier, a blockage. So just touch and go, touch and go, touch and go. Unburden yourself. Empty yourself of yourself. So, what's it like to be contented right in the middle of the discontent? What's it like to question this basic idea of impermanence, change? Well, what's changing? Is there a thing there? And if there's no thing, then is impermanence true? Is change true? Not a philosophical point, something to be inquired into, looked into very carefully, knowing that even carefully is not really a thing. And the understanding that every concept, every idea, every tool can be somewhat helpful and also has to be put down continuously. Hmm. So this is what I wanted to share today.